Now, the coronavirus may be battering economies, as you saw in our report from Aflao, and around the world, people are feeling it. Companies are folding up, but it has led to job losses again in various fields in Ghana and abroad. But, well, some good news here. Government has begun distribution of outboard motors as part of a stimulus package to boost fishing and support fisherfolk in Ghana to remain in business. I've been speaking to the CEO of the Coastal Development Authority on what really is being done to make sure that the process of distribution is transparent, lack of politicization, and also benefits the real people who need it on the ground.
We were directed by His Excellency the President sometime in September 2019 to ensure that all fishers along the coastal zone or along the coastal line are furnished with outboard motors at an extraordinarily discounted prices.
Okay, so it's not free?
No, it's never been free.
Okay.
But this type of discount is first of its kind. It's close to half of the price.
Okay, so how much is it? Does an outboard motor cost typically?
Well, so currently we have 2 horsepowers, 2 different horsepowers that they are looking at. So 2 categories. So we have the 40 horsepower, which is currently 18,370 Ghana cedis. And then the 15 horsepower, which is about 16,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
Yes.
So the subsidized price that you're selling to farmers, fishers now will cost how much?
It will now cost, for the 40 horsepower, it will now cost as directed by the President and then the board of the Coastal Development Authority, and in tandem with the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture's arrangement, one 40 horsepower now has to cost 10,100 Ghana cedis.
Okay, that's the big one, right?
That is the 40 horsepower.
So the smaller one will be, which is 16,000, will
yes, we'll go about half of the price, which we are looking at between 5,000 to 6,000 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Yes.
And let's talk about the numbers. How many outboard motors are you looking to give out?
So His Excellency directed that we should have, first of all, a sensitization tour, so that we could take the necessary assessment from the fishers. So we've done 3 of that. From Axim to Kita, we met with all the fisher folks who gave us a certain idea of how many outboard motors they were looking for. In fact, they were looking for close to 5,500.
Okay.
But what budget we had available was to go procure 5,000. As we speak, we have currently received 1,300 outboard motors, okay, of which 1,200 is the 40 horsepower, okay, and then only 100 is the 15 horsepower. And Gifty, let me just state this. You know, the production of the outboard motors are based on request, and we are getting it from CFAO, which is being brought in by BIS GPS Group, which is one of our suppliers, okay, and then Era 53 Limited, which is getting some from Japan and Japan Motors. All right. So what the arrangement is that if you do not request,
they cannot make it for you.
So it's not something which is out there in the market.
Okay.
And now the only problem is that we would have had the second consignment in April, this kind of April. Okay. But I'm sure you know what is happening. Yes, so okay, that there's some
sort of special arrangement to make sure that you have outboard motors that you'll be given to fisher folk on a very subsidized level. This is extremely subsidized. Okay. And I'm sure they know. The fishers themselves can attest to it. You indicated that you went round on a sensitization tour.
Yes, we did.
How do they feel about this, sincerely?
Oh, well, it may be a very good way to get to some of the videos that during the tours we had with them. Extremely excited, and I can get to some of the videos for you to play back. They have never, as fishers, never had such an intervention that the President would say that we are taking close to half of the price for an outboard motor, and we would give it to you to pay within a certain period of time, then it is delivered onto you.
How long do they have to finish paying? And they're paying this subsidized price within a period of time.
Yes.
How long do they have to finish paying?
It shouldn't be more than 2 months. Because already,
it shouldn't be, or there is a fixed period?
Well, that's what it is. So the fixed period is that it's on or before 2 months.
Okay, on or before 2 months.
Yes.
They should pay in installments?
Yes, and this is because we had the prior engagement with them, so they knew about this, and I'm sure they had been planning on making payments.
Okay.
Yes.
In terms of beneficiaries, who are we looking at? Does it include all fisherfolk, or are there fisherfolk that you selected from specific areas?
Okay, so like I indicated, this is funded from the IPEP. The IPEP is the infrastructure for poverty eradication program.
Okay.
So the key target groups are fishers who are to some extent poor.
Okay.
Or largely poor.
Okay.
And that was how come we went on the sensitization tour. We took their names and details, and then we verified or validated all of these people.
I'm interested to find out what the validation process entails. How did you verify that these people that have written their names are actually poor fisherfolk?
So we have committees. We have local committees that's made up of the Landing Beach Committee. The Landing Beach Committee has 2 representatives.
Okay.
We have the MMDC within the jurisdiction we are operating within. We have the regional minister. We also have the CODA, Coastal Development Authority representative.
Okay.
And we also have the MOFAD representative. And then NAFTA. MOFAD is Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development representative. And then NAFTA is the owners of canoes, or the Canoe Association. So they know that Gifty works here. Gifty is a fisherfolk here.
Okay.
So Gifty really demands or requires an outboard motor to operate. So they first, the 2 Landing Beach Committee members who validate this name, that Gifty confirmed she needs an outboard motor. In fact, she needs a particular one, 15 horsepower and not 40 horsepower.
I see.
Then it migrates from the Landing Beach Committee and goes through the District Chief Executive's office, because we also want to ensure that someone who is operating from Choco will not go to Apam to also go and apply, because because of the very reduced prices, people can play all manner of moves. Yes.
Okay.
Not just scramble, because they can scramble and keep them, but they'll scramble and resell them and make some profit. Because if it is 18,370 and I'm giving you to at 10,100, you can imagine the amount of profits you are going to make on that. So this is what we have been trying to do. We've put in a lot of validation processes. So before you even pick it, you would have to go through all these processes, which we also as Coastal Development Authority and the Ministry of Fisheries have their details. So you cannot say that you operate from Shama when you are not a fisherfolk from Shama. And jump to Tema when you are actually in Tema, and say that I also operate from Shama. So all these processes are there with the Landing Beach Committee members, with that is the local committee, and then we have the metropolitan or municipal or district chief executive who is also a representative or a member of this committee. Okay. And then we also have the regional minister or his representative or her representative. Then we also have the Coastal Development Authority's representative. We also have the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development representative, or the minister's representative. And then the final one is the Association of Canoe Owners, that they call NAFTA.
I see. That looks like a long process. But this is not the first time that we've seen things going out to farmers or fishermen that's going at a subsidized price. But there are also very outstanding issues of corruption at this level. I mean, talk about pre-mixed fuel, and they'll tell you the level of corruption, the level of politicization. Let's start with the level of corruption. With this list that you've indicated, how does it help to reduce the level of corruption?
So I literally gave an example this morning that we are going to involve some security personnel that you and I will not know.
Okay.
And this is to check, first of all, the people, the very corrupt ones and selfish ones who will want to go out there and think that, listen.
So if you're a fisherman, you live in the coastal communities, look out for those outboard motors. They'll be coming your way. We'll follow up to find out how the distribution goes.